Ooh. Oh my goodness. Hello and welcome everybody to tonight's fantastic dinosaur action, as it always is. If you happen to be new, I know a lot of you aren't, but if you happen to be, I only play dinosaurs not just because they called to me. They brought me back to Magic the Gathering in early 2018, and it's been dinos all day, every day. My favorite variation, Stampede Dinosaurs, featuring Ghalta, Stampede Tyrant, devastating Mythic opponents. Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Lots of lovely potential and not a lot of early creatures, although the classic Marauding Raptor back again tonight, probably tomorrow, maybe for quite a bit longer than that. Oh boy, strap yourselves in. It's going to be a good one. Everybody that is, well, maybe not passed out already. Perhaps you are. You had a good Friday night, or you had a good Saturday and you just want to get to bed. So good morning, I guess, for some of you. But Marauding Raptor back in. This was or would have been the Workshop War Chief. It could be Pugnacious Hammer Skull, any sort of early creature or a big creature. You know, if I don't have early creatures to rely on and, you know, hope they live, I don't have to worry about that. The opponent's removal sits in their hand oftentimes until they're dead. And if the first thing I play is Carnage Tyrant, the opponent's removal, chances are, is still going to continue to sit in their hand. But Marauding Raptor, if it lives, I think, you know, oftentimes it will. Often it's going to die. But if it lives, it will help me get just a little bit closer, reducing the cost of all creatures. And whenever it pings a dinosaur, it gets +2/+0. And this deck is, well, it's basically almost all dinosaurs. But if I can get to Ghalta, you know, turn 4, it's a very real possibility. Marauding Raptor on turn 2, reducing everybody by 1. Ghalta is now 7. Turn 3, I go with Castle Garenbrig, let's say. The Stampede Dinos getting to 7 mana, 8 mana. That is achieved with lands, as always. The Sunken Citadel supercharging and powering out the activated ability of Castle Garenbrig there. But then we play Marauding turn 2, Castle Garenbrig turn 3 with 3 green. Maybe turn 1 was a Sunken. I chose green. I play a forest. Well, it would have to be Stomping Ground. We're going to have to see. That is a very good point, though. Needing potentially red early, I might trim a forest or 2. Of course, Cavern of Souls could get me the source of red. But sometimes I don't even want to play Marauding. If it's not going to help me power out potentially a Carnage Tyrant or a Tyrranax Rex or something like that, I'll just hold on to it. If it is part of the batch of creatures that the namesake Ghalta Stampede Tyrant puts onto the battlefield, Marauding is going to get massive. It doesn't have trample, sadly, so it would get chump blocked, but Marauding could reasonably ping 8 dinosaurs, 6. Let's say it ping 6. That's going to give it +12/+0. 14/3 haste. Whew, that is deadly stuff. Of course, it does hurt another dinosaur in here, Palani's Hatcher, but that has to be in always 100% maximum haste and
ruthless aggression.
Whew. Always ruthless aggression. Shocking for you and likely for the opponents, because it's not very common of a deck. But getting back on track, Marauding Raptor pings each creature for 2. It does take out those eggs. I lose out on the potential of eventually getting 2 3/3 dinosaurs, but Marauding is pinging the eggs plus Palani's Hatcher. That is a total of 6 power. And then Palani's Hatcher giving Marauding haste if these both entered with Ghalta's ability. It's gonna be lovely stuff. It could lead to lethal in more situations if the opponent is open. That's gonna be very, very devastating indeed. If Marauding Raptor was the Workshop War Chief, that wouldn't have had haste off of Palani's Hatcher. So the Workshop War Chief would have just entered. I would have only got an extra 3 from a token that was cracked, but now that it's Marauding, Instead, I get an extra 3 above that, because Marauding gets 6 power. I would have connected with 3. You get the idea. We could go on forever, but the name of the game is deadly. Tons of creatures. Get in there. And bring in some sideboard hate, although the sideboard has changed from last night a fair bit. Leyline of Sanctity, well, that's going to stay in with the new sort of new-ish Tree of Perdition combo, Agatha's Soul Cauldron. I'll actually bring that up. I didn't even plan to do that, but I'll talk about that new Rakdos Vampires spin. Everybody should be aware of it if you're not. It won a Pioneer Challenge. Oh, no, it helps if I type it in. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Tree. Pretty sure I don't have a single copy, yes. Hopefully, Arena fixes the bit of lag that happens whenever you click these things. Oh, okay, that actually was pretty instantaneous, but Agatha's Soul Cauldron, Tree of Perdition, the opponent with the Rakdos Vampires tree combo, they try to get this into the graveyard, and then Agatha's Soul Cauldron exiles Tree of Perdition, and they put a counter on a creature, and that creature gains the activated ability of this to tap and exchange target opponent's life total with Tree of Perdition's toughness. That creature, though, does not have 13 toughness. It could be a goblin token that would have 3 toughness, and then your opponent now has 3. You sacrifice a creature with the Voldaren Thrill Seeker, which is deadly stuff, temporarily giving a creature backup for a turn, I believe, the ability to pay 1 and sacrifice themselves. So their life total becomes 3, then they sacrifice themselves to take out the opponent. Deadly. A nice, painful way to win. An additional way with Rakdos Vampires sprinkled in there, but it's target opponent, so that's what I'm getting at. Leyline of Sanctity, for anybody that hasn't used it or isn't aware of it yet. So, well, there you go. If they can't target you because you have hexproof, the deck is not doing a whole lot, and they might just scoop, as it sometimes happens with mono black waste not. Oh, I love that. That's never going to get old. But the main changes, going back to that, Ranging Raptors, because I'm using Marauding Raptor, I wanted to also dust off the classic, absolutely fantastic thing. Lower the curve a bit. Going into game 2, whenever I'm facing more aggressive stuff, this is a pretty fantastic chump blocker. Played on turn 3, I stop myself from taking big damage, maybe from somebody, but then it dies, and I also get a land, and it gets me ahead, gets me 1 closer permanently, because chances are the opponent cannot take out a basic land, which is lovely. Or I get the fantastic Marauding Raptor on turn 2. Ranging on turn 3, Marauding pings it, I get a basic, and it's still left around to block and get a second basic later on. So it has absolutely lovely potential. But if I also want interaction, I want to try that again. I think for the most part, if I had some interaction in some scenarios, that could be all it takes. Of course, I don't have a whole lot for Amalia, but it could be Inscription of Abundance, instant speed, take out Amalia, as long as they can't give her indestructible, but that does sometimes happen, sadly. So it could be Archdruid's Charm, instant speed interaction. Chances are, as it always is, Archdruid's Charm, the first one at least, is going to dig, grab a land, and put it onto the battlefield. But Inscription, some more instant speed interaction. I think that'll be good. Very good. Hopefully I stick a Vaultborn Tyrant. It gets destroyed by Amalia, destroying all creatures. I make a copy of it, gain some life, draw a card, chump block Amalia with the copy that was made, and whew, it's going to be deadly. But I like this spin with the sideboard. A little more interaction, lower the curve game 2, help out potentially against aggro, but I think for the most part, that is going to be usually a pretty tough type of matchup. That's okay. I'm pretty strong against a bunch of other stuff. Azorius control, Rakdos Vampires seems to be 50-50-ish. something like that. Roberto Noriega. I'm pretty sure I faced this guy last night, huh? I faced a particular Rakdos opponent twice today. Twice in a row. It was nuts. That first hand, 2 marauding in 1 land. That was kind of rough, but this, not so rough. I'll definitely keep both marauding. Play it safe. I imagine the opponent has some removal, and we got a ton of big creatures. Keep all the low stuff, stick it, and... Oh, we've got the... whatchamacallit? Sacrifice, something or other. I forget the name. Insidious Roots, yes. Yeah. Hopefully they don't... Oh yeah. Golgari Aristocrats, Sacrifice, that sort of thing. It's not a whole lot of fun, but you know what is fun? When you play Kiora and you untap your source of red. And then you play Marauding, then you attack with Marauding Raptor. The Priest of Forgotten Gods cannot tap. Now keep in mind it has that ability to tap, sacrifice 2 other creatures. This particular deck, they have ways of getting those creatures back. It's not much of a drawback, but it does hurt me. I have to sacrifice 1 of my own creatures. I lose 2 life. It really drains quite a bit, but having multiple creatures out early, I have choices as to what I want to sack. Hopefully one of the Maraudings goes down. At the moment, having both out, Palani's Hatcher, Regisaur Alpha, all the creatures that are made will get killed. So I'm actually hoping a Fatal Push happens. That would actually be quite helpful. I mean, Priest of Forgotten Gods, it would take out 1. It would force me to lose 1. Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's going to be very aggressive. I will play Regisaur Alpha though, of course. Having 1 Marauding, like I mentioned, it would take out both eggs. Regisaur Alpha itself is a 4/4, plus it makes a 3/3. So this is very nice indeed. Very nice. I hope. They got 2 black. Okay. Oh. And Castle Garenbrig to boot. This is definitely going to be deadly. Priest of Forgotten Gods might want to block. Oh, and Carnage Tyrant. Oh, I love this. I don't care if Priest blocks either. I would love that. I don't think they want to do it. Pretty sure. But I think we're in a very good position. I imagine Marauding Raptor might stick around. If it does, we get Carnage Tyrant. Hopefully Regisaur Alpha is also there. But at least they don't have Tyvar. Okay. I was getting a little bit worried there. But yes, there it is. The namesake of this deck. Insidious Roots. Golgari Roots. Whatever you want to call it. Whenever 1 or more creature cards leave the opponent's graveyard, whether it goes into exile, it leaves the graveyard and goes onto the battlefield, they make a plant. And then they put a counter on each plant they control. Things get out of control real quick though. It's not a pretty sight. But 2 Priests of Forgotten Gods, that is also not pretty. We'll get Leyline of Sanctity. Priest of Forgotten Gods will not be able to target us, so we do have a decent chance there. I just hope there's no removal for Marauding. That would be rough too. Yeah. Keep sacrificing them. Oh boy. They do make 2 black, which is quite painful. They'll sacrifice 1 of the plants plus the skeleton and then still get to replay it, getting another plant. Oh, I don't like it. I was thinking of keeping Regisaur Alpha. It would give the other Palani's Hatcher haste, but for the most part I am aiming for Carnage Tyrant. Hopefully the Vaultborn Tyrant. If I get Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, that actually would have been it. That would have been pretty cool. Ghalta, you can do it. Ooh, well, that's not Ghalta, but that's okay. We'll wait. It would have been nice to use Archdruid's Charm to take out the Priest of Forgotten Gods and stop them from making me sacrifice so much stuff. Yeah. Man, that I don't like it. We pretty much need Ghalta Stampede Tyrant next turn to have any sort of chance. But yeah, we're definitely safe with Leyline of Sanctity. We would have had all of those creatures plus the Dino token. There would have been a lot less to worry about. This is going to be good for us. Gimping Priest of Forgotten Gods, pretty much. Yeah, eviscerating it. I like it. Maybe we can get something sneaky. Actually, they have 2 5/6s. That tends to do the trick. Never mind. Okay. They had a lot of stuff enter from the graveyard, leave it either into exile, but you get the idea. Leyline of Sanctity, though, we never would have sacrificed anything to the priest because they have to target us, target players. So we're going to mulligan pretty hard for that. Do I like Marauding? Yeah, I do. Kiora? Kiora as well. Is Kiora more helpful than Marauding? I think so. Kiora, of course, could get me 2 ahead. If she untaps a Sunken Citadel, tap it again for 2. Marauding only helps to reduce a creature by 1. But if I play multiples in a turn, technically Marauding did help for 2, but we need the Leyline. We need the... Oh, that's not a Leyline. I would have loved to keep that opening hand, but we have something that we need to see in the opening hand. We're still not seeing it. Oh, okay. Okay, finally saw it, yeah. Had to mulligan completely, but hey, that's how she goes. We'll get him next time. That was just wacky. Painful. Okay. Roberto Noriega, once again. I imagine we're going to face the same opponents, similar opponents, back-to-back quite a few times. Just because Explorer isn't the most populated format. Not the most populated, being at the top as well. But it looks like a lovely hand. You know, 2 lands, 2 Maraudings, one of them being sunken. I like these chances. What do we got going on? Well, we'll draw out the Fatal Push. If I only had 1 Marauding, I wouldn't have played it, but I have 2. I'm going to be doing something next turn, and oh, we got some sort of... Oh, really? The exact same deck, but a different opponent. Okay. Well, hopefully I get redemption against Golgari Insidious Roots. That's just kind of wacky. I have the best hate for it. Maybe I need to start out with it in the main, because that's how she goes. Of course, I'll send everything towards Tyvar. That has to die on sight as soon as humanly possible. It's painful. Tyvar allows, if you have it out, your creatures can activate their abilities at instant speed, as if they had haste. 1 more land, you can do it. Okay, good stuff. Now the question becomes, would they... Somebody's going to block Marauding, but would I want to... Nah, we'll wait. We'll see what they do. That's okay. I think Priest of Forgotten Gods might have been incentivized to block one of the Maraudings. They would have been at 6 power. That would have been deadly. But I faced this particular deck again today, this evening, and well, Maybe it also performed pretty well, but I will get there. We'll lose one Marauding, draw land next turn. If it is Castle Garenbrig, we do get Vaultborn Tyrant, which is quite nice indeed. Yeah, I don't know. I might just start with Leyline of Sanctity. This is... Yep, Agatha's Soul Cauldron. That's nothing we haven't seen before. Maybe this is also going to be Tree of Perdition combo. I don't think so. Yeah, that's not going to do it. That will lock things up, unfortunately. Not much you can do. Alright, Leyline of Sanctity coming in hot. Take out that Priest of Forgotten Gods, but again, if they can't really target us, that's not much trouble at all. So we'll get rid of Marauding. Even though I haven't drawn out a Fatal Push, perhaps this particular deck doesn't have a whole lot of removal because they hinge on Priest of Forgotten Gods. That really could be a thing, but they must have some amount of removal. Kiora, of course, is a little bit more resilient, and there we go. It only took a complete other match to smoke them. Hopefully they don't have Beseju. I'm pretty sure they do. We saw it in the previous game, but hey, at least we have the best chance possible. Next turn, at the very least, Sylvan Scrying is going to grab Castle Garenbrig, and we're off to the races. Now this should do it. Oh, and getting the forest as well. Perfect. I would have liked to go Kiora, but we need Castle Garenbrig, absolutely. Play the good old Vaultborn Tyrant, and it's going to be pretty difficult to come back from that. It's 3. Who cares? Gonna get them. Now the question becomes, would they have... You know what? We're going to go for it. We're going for it, folks. If they can't take out Kiora, we'll kill him next turn. I like that. I feel like there's a good chance Kiora is going to live. As long as Fiend Artisan doesn't get too big. We got 4. Oh boy. Yeah, still 4. Good. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. I like our chances. Dead. Done.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
They're done. Oh. Now you can see how lovely it is. No chance whatsoever. Smoked. Out of the water. Tap the forest, untap it, kill him. Boom. Then we stack the other Ghalta. This was what I was talking about. You see all the triggers of Vaultborn and Kiora. They are all above Ghalta's trigger. Yeah, that's what you get.
Grant me revenge. And if you do not listen, then the hell with you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they saw the Leyline of Sanctity. They know they at least have to play around that, I imagine. They might prioritize some sort of answer for it. The Beseju, keeping a hand with... it's like basically perfect. I don't have 2 for turn 2, but Sylvan Scrying would grab another Sunken, and it's so good. No. Okay. Whew. I listened to my gut, and... well, it didn't do me wrong. Yeah. Kiora is much better than a forest. Kiora means we get to 7, but if I had sent Kiora and kept the forest, I would only be able to make 6 with those 4 lands. Yeah, this certainly feels like it will be redemption. But you never know, they got that Insidious roots. It's a little bit scary. As long as they can't take out the Kiora that we're going to play next turn. And if we draw a Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, that would also be quite deadly. Watch him get a Priest of Forgotten Gods. Do it. Oh, no. Okay, not too bad. Ooh. Well, Kiora is our only option. I think they will take her out, absolutely, if they're able to, and the plant is going to get pretty big, depending on the creatures that they return from the graveyard. At the moment, they only have 4. Hopefully Kiora is left at least with 1. Oh, okay, 6. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Good, they only have 6. Yeah, you can't target me, bud. Oh, shoot. Oh, poor thing. Poor thing. That's what you get. Yeah. Would be cool. Oh! Well, it's not Ghalta. Now the question becomes, I think we gotta go Vaultborn Tyrant. Yeah, we gotta go Vaultborn. Big time. Yeah, if we had Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, it is cool. They would be dead. I like that. Makes a lot of sense. Another Kiora is pretty nice. It would also be nice to play the other Vaultborn. Stabilize a little bit. That Vaultborn, if there is a big plant big enough that it takes out Vaultborn, or it would trade. I'll just block, I'll get a copy, token, gain, well, get some more stuff. Excuse me. Hopefully draw another land, draw into Ghalta, and devastate them. I might have to dust off Culling Ritual. That would completely cripple this deck. Culling Ritual, destroying all non-land permanents with a mana value 2 or less. It would sweep the entire board. I mean, if I face it a third time tonight, that's probably what I'm going to do. Yeah, it's okay. Oh, a wee bit painful. That's all right. Perhaps. We'll find out. Pretty sure we're dead. 2, 4, so that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 16. Yeah, that's it. They just have to attack with everybody. But maybe they won't. You never know. Yeah, that does it. Tends to do the trick. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll bring out the sweeper. I'll be sweeping your chances out of here. Man, I would have made a lot of mana. A Culling Ritual, whenever you do destroy non-land permanents, you get to temporarily add black or green mana equal to the amount of permanents destroyed this way. They had at least 10. They certainly had at least 8. So I could have swept the battlefield and made enough mana to cast Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. That's where it's at. That hand is not where it's at, though. That hand is big time. What might they be on? That's a good question. They got the Feldelgriff, Hippo, Avatar. Well, I'll certainly keep 6. Send Marauding to the bottom, the easiest to answer thing. Sylvan Scrying next turn to grab the second Sunken. Are you serious? Are you serious? Okay. Okay. Well, alright. Really? Is this going to be a third time in a row? What is going on? Okay, it's just regular Golgari Midrange. I was going to say that's the third time in a row. Whew, my goodness. Crazy. Crazy. Nuts. That still could be, maybe. We got Carnage Tyrant next turn. Not a problem. 2 Carnage Tyrants. So it is going to be a decent headache for the opponent. Now the question becomes, how much stuff do they have that targets me? Do I want that Leyline of Sanctity for game 2? Well, I don't know. We'll see if they have any other funny business. Blot Out. Invoke Despair. We'll keep everything in mind. Just hopefully they don't have another Sheoldred's Edict. Pillage the Bog. Well, that is going to be rough. I imagine they're going to find another Sheoldred's Edict. Probably. Oh, they don't. They're getting desperate. This opponent is squirming. They have nothing left. They're going to be hit, at least with Carnage Tyrant. Can't attack into that. I'm just going to play another. It tends to do the trick. Of course, they could have Extinction Event, which we would lose both, sadly, but I feel like putting the pressure. Good. I'll sacrifice the one that is tapped, and we're still feeling all right. Ooh, that's okay. Send it towards Liliana. I want to take her out. I want to discard less, if at all possible. Keeping both Vaultborn Tyrants and Ghalta could be very, very important. And they just might not have much for Carnage Tyrant. Okay, okay. They have nothing. Is that going to be it? Is the question. I should be drawing another lane. Okay, good. Good. That's what you get. Now we saw Liliana. Leyline of Sanctity stops Liliana's -2 of target player sacrifices a creature. I get to protect Carnage Tyrant and all the big stuff a little bit better. But also blot out from March of the Machine Aftermath, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Target opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest mana value, or exiles a creature. So I don't get the token from Vaultborn. We're doing Leyline. Absolutely. They have a lot of removal. This is not that Golgari Insidious Roots deck, so Marauding out, yeah, they're going to have much more single target removal. Marauding is, chances are, not going to survive. I'd be highly surprised. I mean, it does have Leyline. If it had 2, I would risk it. Maybe Kiora is a Castle Garenbrig instead. Okay, that's a lot better. Big time. Send T-Rex to the bottom. Keep all the lands. If you know you're going into something and you don't have the Leyline, keep all the lands. You know what the opponent can't get rid of? Usually is a land. Thoughtseize, boom. They can't get rid of it. And it's pretty good. We get to go off with the Sylvan Scrying. Of course, the question becomes, should I play Kiora next turn or the Sunken? It's going to be the Sunken for sure. Sylvan Scrying as well. I'm going to search for another land, and we're going to lock in Vaultborn Tyrant eventually here. Plotting, pillage the bog. Digging for some very painful stuff eventually. Kiora next turn is going to be pretty nice. We'll grab another Castle Garenbrig, absolutely. Play it safe if they destroy one, but we have a backup. I imagine there's some number of Field of Ruin or Demolition Field to target our non-basic lands and get them. But yeah, for free, for nothing. Searching the top 8 cards, putting one of them into their hand. It's going to be, well, a Damping Sphere. That's we got Archdruid's Charm to take it out. So don't worry too much yet. We would be able to play a creature next turn that costs 6. So that does make me feel, well. Okay, a creature that costs 5. Hopefully we see Palani's Hatcher, Regisaur Alpha, something like that, or that Archdruid's Charm. Oh, I do like this. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Not too bad. Of course, it's always nice if we can set up with Kiora beforehand, get a draw, but hey, if they don't have removal for Palani's Hatcher, we could threaten Shieldred. We will not, it seems. They're looking at it pretty hard. Hey, at least we stuck Palani's Hatcher. Losing a Vaultborn Tyrant, that's 1 of 4. So there is still 3 more Tyrranax Rex, Carnage Tyrant, all that good stuff, and 1 of the 4 Archdruid's Charms is coming up. We're almost a quarter of the way through, so there's a pretty good chance of that happening. Of course, the egg will chump Shieldred, that's for sure. Leave that token behind. Maybe chump her again. But we do have 3 creatures now, so maybe somehow, some way, we'll be able to save ourselves. Probably not, though. But it's not the first time today. Actually, quite a few times I have faced off against the lovely hate of Damping Spheres. Nothing new to me, but perhaps I do need to bring in a little bit more artifact and enchantment hate just to take it out. Yeah, that tends to do it. We'll get him. But do I still want that Leyline? We got the job done without it. We brought it in, and yeah, no, I'm going to trim it. I want that Raging Raptors. Yeah. Have to jump through a little bit more of a hoop. Being a mana value of 3, a permanent has to leave the battlefield so that they could take out a creature up to a mana value of 4 instead of just up to 2. But at the very least, Raging Raptors, chump block somebody, get a basic land, get ahead, buy 1 forever. I like it. It's just too easy, I think, with this particular deck to take out Marauding Raptor. Yep, 100%. Oh, it is kind of nice knowing I don't have the Leyline of Sanctity, I must admit. Keeping what could be a very devastating hand. I hope to go off with Archdruid's Charm, of course, but you never know. If we get to go Archdruid's Charm, grabbing Sunken and putting it onto the battlefield, ooh, that is going to be deadly. The opponent thought about that hand quite a bit. They're thinking, hey, I should mulligan to maybe get a Thoughtseize to slow down what my opponent is going to do. So perhaps we got fortunate. For the first few turns, they won't have it. Okay, not too bad. I like the looks of that. Oh boy. At the very least, I'm playing something next turn. Good. Oh, we got it. Oh, folks, plus we're just going to be able to play Vaultborn next turn. Or I'll play Kiora if it makes sense to do so. If I feel that she's going to survive, we'll kill him. If she does survive, they would be dead if they haven't discarded anything in my hand. But it does. I'm playing something big, something good next turn, unless they have 2 Thoughtseizes. But they didn't go with an early Thoughtseize to begin with, so they probably don't have it. Liliana, no, that's alright. Definitely keeping that forest. Now, Kiora, yeah, we're going to go with Vaultborn Tyrant then. Absolutely. Draw into the 8th mana. Okay, well, I'll just play the Tyrranax Rex and wreck Liliana. Hopefully they don't have another one, of course, but, well, this is going to be our best bet. Just making sure Liliana is gone. You have something that has haste and is big and can get her, you get her. You don't ask questions, especially when she's up to 4. Certainly she would have -2 and made me sacrifice Tyrranax Rex. But one shot, that Planeswalker in particular, kill him. And now with that Regisaur Alpha, the opponent is killed.
You won! You did it!
Got him. Got him, Venge. Oh. Alright. I don't know. If those decks that I had Leyline of Sanctity in against, if they're feeling so good, maybe I trim it and I get the sweeper, the culling ritual, to absolutely eviscerate, destroy Golgari Insidious roots. But, well, I got my revenge there. That was good. That's what it's all about. Selvala. I'd actually considered this a little bit. Chances are the opponent is going to kill it, and I may not need that ramping, but it is kind of nice. 2 and a green and a white for a 4/5 vigilance. Nice for aggression there. Sadly, it doesn't have haste, but whenever I cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 red mercenary. That's pretty good, pretty good. But I'm oftentimes only casting 1 creature a turn. I think where this is elevated is if the curve is a lot lower. Bunch of cheaper stuff. You're making a bunch more mercenaries that could potentially give some other creature +1/+0. And then the potential to tap, choose a color, add 1 mana of that color for each different power among creatures you control. I have a lot of different powers, I must say, so that actually could add quite a bit. But let's say I play that on turn 4, comes around to turn 5, there's a very real possibility that I'm only making 1, because Selvala is the only creature I have. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I'd rather just play Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia at that point. Tap for 2 mana, and it can only go towards a creature with a mana value 5 or greater, or power 5 or greater. Something like, whenever you cast a creature with power 5 or greater, she untaps. That's what it is. Lincoln. I faced Lincoln before. I think last night even. Pretty sure it was something black related though. Eventually. Oh, I like the looks of that hand. Very positive stuff. It is Jane Ghalta. I think this is Gruul Slickshot. But we want to go as fast as possible. We don't have a Sylvan Scrying or an Archdruid's Charm or one of these lands being a Sunken Citadel. Just to make myself feel better to achieve a critical amount of mana. But there's a very real possibility we draw that Marauding or the Sylvan Scrying or an Archdruid's Charm or a Sunken Citadel. And we're able to play a lot of good stuff. A Marauding Raptor on turn 2, Regisaur on turn 4. Not the fastest thing in the world, but still decent-ish for aggression. If I didn't have Marauding and I only had those lands, well, I still wouldn't be able to play Regisaur. So at least with Marauding, I am able to get down the hasty dinos where I otherwise wouldn't have been able to. An aggro deck is going first. That does... Oh, speaking of. But yeah, an aggro deck going first doesn't bode well. Marauding Raptor maybe scares away a little bit of aggression from this opponent. At least some of those early creatures, perhaps. If something gets too big, we'll chump it. Although for the most part, the things can get trampled. Monstrous Rage, instant speed, going right through Marauding, and well, there's a very real possibility, well, Monstrous Rage, it would make their creature too big. The toughness would at least go to 3. Marauding would not take out either of those. Oh boy. Rampaging Frostodon, it is something. We did stop the etching of Kumano, though. We'll wait for Marauding. Rampaging Frostodon actually is going to be a little bit of trouble. However, it might not be. With that Archdruid's Charm, we're going to take out Rampaging Frostodon. Absolutely. We're going to do our best, of course. Probably cast some stuff. We'll just wait. That's okay. Not the end of the world. I hope. They're going to get it to 4 toughness. Okay, well. We drew out the Blossoming Defenses. We're not doing a whole lot coming up. That will do it, especially Rampaging Frostodon. Whenever a creature enters, its controller is dealt 1 damage, and yeah, tends to do the trick. But you know what also tends to do the trick? Interaction. Big time. I love it. We'll keep in Kiora, Sylvan Scrying. We'll trim that. We do have to make room for the interaction that we've brought in. Ranging Raptors is going to get us ahead. Of course, Sylvan Scrying grabbing the key Sunken is very nice, but space does have to be made somewhere, somehow. I'll trim Kiora as well. 3 T-Rex. The costlier of the harder to target dinos. Okay. Let's go. 7 pieces of interaction, lots of early creatures. This is what I was kind of hoping to face. To do, oh, well, that is deadly stuff right there. 2 Maraudings, 2 lands, 1 source of red. Again, the sources of red, like I mentioned, a little bit on the low side, and I gotta say it is nice to see it to begin with. But that could be it right there. Hopefully the first Marauding Raptor survives. At least pinging, ranging for the first basic. We're left with it behind, and then, whew, hopefully drawing the Savage Stomp and all that good stuff. At the very least, Marauding Raptor is not going to get killed if they leave that mana up. Okay, they don't. Soulscar Mage has to go as soon as humanly possible, but just hope there isn't a lightning strike or something like that. Oh boy, I bet there will be. Ooh, don't do it. Yeah, don't worry, I'm not blocking. I know better. Good. Very good. Very, very good. You know what? We're going to supercharge things. This is what I missed. The classic play. 2 Maraudings. You play 2 lands. But we got 2 pings off of this. We get 2 basics. 1 green. 2 basic lands. You can't beat it. That's a Sylvan Scrying and a half. And we supercharge Marauding. So you're seeing one of the lines that I loved so long ago. And, well, I'm certainly loving again. Now that's aggression. That's what you want. Oh, I missed that neat little thing. Hopefully 1 Marauding is surviving. We would be able to play Regisaur Alpha. I'd be crossing my fingers for that. But yeah, just lower the curve, go faster, have a bunch of good bodies, and hopefully pick up wins more often against this particular kind of deck. They gotta have Monstrous Rage. They must. they're going to have it. But, again, I want one Marauding Raptor to go down. That's how it is. That's okay. Good. Good. Really, I could have kept 2. It goes to show how long it's been. Both Maraudings would have been 12 power. The opponent would have been left open. I would have had exactly lethal. And, well, too late to go back now, but that would have been cool. Okay, here goes nothing. Hopefully they just have a slick shot show off or something like that. No pumping spells, don't do it. Not too bad. Are thinking about it, or wondering what would be the best avenue. Everybody, okay. Of course, I have to block 2 things. We'll block the stuff that I might take out. Okay. Another Regisaur Alpha. That would do it. Oh. 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 Oh.
Good Lord, what is happening in there?
Ruthless aggression.
Oh. Phew. I got revenge. Fortunately, after that mishap, the goof, but we're good. Okay, we'll keep it the same. Like I said, lots of early stuff. Get them that way. But yeah, if I had kept both Maraudings, 2 pings from each on both Regisaur and the token, they both would have been at 6, exactly lethal. The opponent was wide open. So you're seeing the potential of a Marauding Raptor, very surprising. Shh. Hello, Sir Maximilian, how's it going? Hopefully all is well with you, and hopefully all is well with this game. We get him again with the lovely lower curve in game 2 and now game 3. Things are heating up. Also, this room is heating up. I'm going to go turn down the AC. Or turn down. I got this, definitely. I like that hand. But again, very aggressive deck whenever they're going first. It is going to be pretty problematic. Inscription of Abundance might just save us quite a bit. Even if it is just putting 2 counters on Marauding, making it a 4/5. Well, it could be nice. Hopefully it's no monstrous rage or... Okay, good. We're only at 16. That's, I like the looks of that. We do have to take a slight ping just to get the source of red. And we got Savage Stomp. We have Inscription of Abundance. I could take out 2 creatures if Marauding Raptor is... well, it is not sticking around, unfortunately. But I like this angle. There's something here. I definitely think it was... Well, it could be the missing angle. Of course, I could just add in sweepers to take out decks like this, but we'll see. Cross the fingers they don't have a blossoming defense, but we could draw it out next turn. Savage Stomp for 1 green, respond to the blossoming defense with an Inscription of Abundance, and maybe make something good happen. Okay, yeah, no enrage. Don't damage was dealt. Damage is changed to 1/1 counters, and that well, tends to do the trick. Too little, too late. But you can imagine how things perhaps would have gone. You know, a little bit different. If I was going first, had the opportunity to interact with that creature, and we'll get him. We'll get him next time. Maybe it's going to be that Golgari Insidious Roots deck once again. Should actually see how cold it is outside. 18. Might want to actually open the window. The spare room that I record in, it's pretty small, so it heats up quite a bit, especially if I turn on my computer pretty soon, early, before I start streaming. Yeah. But lovely. Marauding. Oh, somebody. They either have a counter spell or Fatal Push. You know what? Let's draw that out. I hope it's not a counter spell. They could have a counter spell and Fatal Push, but I think the chances of it being a piece of removal was very good. But the chances of being a counter spell, for the most part, it would just be Spell Pierce, instant speed for 1 blue, counter target spell, unless its controller pays 2, I think. It's pretty good. Deep Cavern Bat, whatever this deck is, Golgari, Grixis, Phoenix, something like that. Marauding Raptor, fine by me. They got rid of something that is not necessarily the most integral for the deck. Oh, okay. Well, don't worry. I'll bring in Leyline of Sanctity, and you won't be doing anything game 2. Gotta get rid of somebody there. If they're smart, they're going to start with the Vaultborns. Hopefully they don't have 2 Thought Seizes and I lose both. I actually was scared for a bit there. They paused and they had women. Oh, yeah, that's what it's all about. Oh, surprise. I topped that Carnage Tyrant. What you going to do? Maybe they make me sacrifice it. At the very least, they're doing one thing, and that 2 mana for Rona, Herald of Invasion, is not going to cut it. Then next time, well, next turn they're dead. We have the Forest. Pretty dead. They might just concede here. Hopefully it's not Extinction Event, but if it was, Carnage Tyrant is an even mana value, and Vaultborn Tyrant is odd, so I would only lose one of those, depending on the value that they choose. Gonna sneeze. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. Now, die. Hopefully we draw Regisaur, Palani. Oh, but I do like more Carnage Tyrants and more card draw and more. Oh, yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get. But again, we got. No. It's probably the most conflicting part for me because it is so helpful. It absolutely just hoses particular decks. If you don't see it, it's bad. That's why I don't have white. I'm not going to have white just to potentially cast it if I don't see it, because its chances are over if I don't see it. I'm only bringing it in against particular decks that are very, very painful. But stopping the Deep Cavern Bat and the Thought Seizes, it's always very tempting. You know what? We'll trim Marauding. 3 of them. Bring in the Inscription of Abundance. A little bit of instant speed interaction. More than just Archdruid's Charm. Might be nice. Of course, Marauding Raptor against this deck, almost guaranteed to die. I would imagine I would be guaranteed to die if I kept this with only a Sunken Citadel. And this with only a Castle Garenbrig. Okay, well, we got to something eventually. Definitely send the least important stuff to the bottom. And oh, okay, well, now all of a sudden it's good. Should be. Hopefully they don't have more hand hate to rip Archdruids or Kiora. Whichever one they choose. They're choosing one of those two. Absolutely. That's alright. Oh, okay. Okay. No Thoughtseize. Good. Good stuff. I like what I see. Oh, man, they may be just dead. We'll wait for them to spend some mana. Hopefully use Archdruid's Charm. But they see the Archdruid, so they may be ready and waiting with a counterspell. Wait until the end of their turn. They'll do what they gotta do, and that's it. That's okay. We figured it would happen. But now they are mostly tapped out, and I can go Archdruids, because you know what you can't do is counter it with a single source of black. Yeah. And I get to play that. So now, watch out. I'm able to make 7 next turn playing Vaultborn or Tyrranax Rex. That's not a pretty sight. Okay, they got the Jace. That's what it is. Grixis, Dimir, Jace, Tybalt, Cosmic Imposter combo. But they're scared. They're worried. Ooh. Certainly Vaultborn Tyrant. I want to get as close as possible. More lands, Ghalta, Stampede Tyrant, you know the drill. Draw out that Shieldred's Edict? Maybe. If it's Shieldred's Edict, we wouldn't have connected with Tyrranax Rex, but this way, well, Bitter Triumph would have taken out Tyrranax Rex, but we get more card draw. That's what I want. If they can't take that out and we land the second copy, it's really going to be quite bad. It's not the end of the world. We'll take out Jace Reawakened next turn with Tyrranax Rex. Unless I draw Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. I might want to... Nah. Jace is gone. Big time. I like the sounds of that. Ooh, deadly. Sometimes Tyrranax Rex is all you need to do. Yeah, surprise. Can't do anything about it. Have another blot out. If they... Okay. They might be able to just completely tap out just to kill Tyrranax Rex. Watch. Bitter Triumph for something for 2. And an extra... Oh, okay. They're going on the aggressive side of things. Interesting. Do they think they're going to plow through the 22 that I had? Well, I'm going to have a whole lot more, but... You know what? We go with Sylvan Scrying. We grab a land for the turn. It's going to be something that enters untapped, and I am still able to play Carnage Tyrant. I like that a whole lot better. I like it. Ledger Shredder, that's fine. They can't do anything with the 1 mana that they have. Thought I heard something. Oh boy. Extinction event. Even, odd, dun. Or just a sweeper. Must be a sweeper they're attacking with. Okay, well, we'll try for Ghalta. I heard victory. Yes. Scorpion. Hopefully all is well with you. Hopefully all is well with everybody watching right now or later on. There it is, FK, absolutely. Ooh, I love it. Card draw, life gain, and death. You joined at the right time if you weren't already watching. Phew. We're back up to 94, but again, tonight that was extra wacky. 2 back-to-back Golgari Insidious roots. We'll see. If I face it a 3rd time tonight, eventually, you just finished watching Don't Look Up. I heard of that. Leonardo DiCaprio and What's her name? Drawn a blank. I should know this. I'm pretty good with celebrities, but Leonardo DiCaprio, yeah. Jennifer, yes, Jennifer Lawrence. I was going to say Jennifer Aniston. It wasn't that. I knew it was a Jennifer. Yeah, it looked pretty funny. Absolutely. Idiocracy as well. I think it is. Early 2000s. That was pretty cool. Very funny as well. I haven't ever seen it, but I've seen a lot of clips. Okay, I do like Jonah Hill. I like a lot of actors. There's none that I really particularly hate, but black, oh boy. Is it going to be Waste Not? Okay, just mono black mid-range, possibly mono black Devotion. They are going to have Field of Ruins and stuff that is going to bring us pain. Just grab the Sunken Citadel, get it out of the way, prepare, and get ready. Oh. We will make 6 on turn 4 if it makes sense to cast Carnage Tyrant. Oh, gee. Never played against this kind of deck before in my life. Yeah, we'll get rid of Ghalta. I have 2 copies, so it's pretty straightforward right there. Right. Regisaur Alpha is quite nice. Of course, I do imagine we're going to be losing... Oh, shoot. I wish I had another Castle Garenbrig in my hand. Now, keep in mind, this is what it's all about with Archdruid's Charm. I might clip this. Watch. I tap it for a green. Before it's destroyed, it's replaced by a land that enters untapped. And temporarily, for one brief moment, I have 3 green. I can go Archdruid's Charm. Look at that. Remember it. Make your opponent cry. And make your opponent die, because I'm going to grab another Sunken, play the castle, and maybe just kill him. Yeah. Make me discard Kiora. Oh, I wasn't going to put it out onto the battlefield anyways. Nice, you're dead. Yeah. See you later, buddy. Oh, 200 IQ. Yeah, I bet you never seen that before. But you're going to try to recreate it. Sometimes it's 1%, sometimes it's 2%. Yeah. I think it could go up like 3% or something like that. Exactly lethal. I didn't even bother doing the math, but yeah, I'll take it. I love it. But we just have to do it again. Cross your fingers, of course, with this deck. You know what dies, what is almost guaranteed to die. Marauding Raptor, very straightforward. Yeah, bring in Leyline of Sanctity. We don't have to worry about Liliana making us sacrifice a creature or have our permanents when they put it into 2 piles. I like Leyline of Sanctity. It isn't mono black Waste Not. It could be Waste Not in here, although I think it's best to just lean completely into that game plan. Go all in on the discard stuff. Liliana is targeted. The -2, target player sacrifices a creature. And the -6, her ultimate. Target player, they separate 2 piles. Oh. The +1 isn't. The +1 is each player discards a card, but her other 2 abilities completely. The top one. The top one, or the +1, you mean. The ultimate and the -2 are targeted. The sacrifice. Okay, Leyline. Let's see a good hand with Leyline. Oh, that's a keep. That's a keep. I know, it shuts down all the worst stuff. I could have nothing in my hand, and then Liliana of the Veil is literally useless. And that's what it's all about. Oh. It's lovely seeing the opponent frantically going over everything, wondering why they can't do Liliana's ability. And then they remember about Leyline of Sanctity. Torpor Orb, though, is not too nice. I've seen Torpor Orb before, and Damping Sphere, as we all likely saw a couple matches ago. Something like that. I do love how everything goes pretty fast here, though. It's nice. Pretty sure Sunken Citadel is gone. Gotta be. Yeah, that's okay. Used to it. I might bring in Pithing Needle, though, just to hurt that particular kind of thing. It's never a pretty sight. Yeah. Torpor Orb, as I was using myself for Amalia, stopping creatures from entering and gaining life and starting that chain of triggers. Yeah, it does tend to do the trick. We got Archdruids, though. We aren't dead. We have to use Archdruids to take out Torpor Orb at the end of the opponent's turn. We are mostly dead, though, so yeah. How she goes. That's something. Of course, I'll get rid of a Leyline of Sanctity in my hand. Completely useless. I'm never going to be making 2 white, and, well, I already have 1. Right, Torpor Orb. Gone. Oh boy. Yeah, stops Palani's eggs, Regisaur Alpha, all that stuff. And sometimes it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Now, particular things to help against that. I mean, I like it should be Leyline of Sanctity. It really should be. Continue to be. Nothing in here takes out artifacts, unfortunately, but for a little bit there. I was using Thrashing Brontodon, Tranquil Frillback, although Tranquil Frillback, the enter the battlefield effect, is turned off by that Torpor Orb that we saw. So that's why I wasn't using Tranquil Frillback. But Thrashing Brontodon, it has the ability to pay 1, sacrifice itself. And well, we're keeping that. I like the looks of that. A Sunken in a Castle. Plus Archdruid's very positive. But, yeah, Thrashing Brontodon could... Oh my, okay. Thrashing Brontodon could have been the way I get rid of that. Torpor Orb is, a wee bit rough. Do I like Kiora? Kinda. You know what? We'll go with Sylvan Scrying. We're going to grab our land for next turn. It's going to be Castle Garenbrig. We have to use Sylvan Scrying probably at some point. Demolition Field, I think they're going to take out Castle. That's okay. We were ready for that. Sadly, I don't have 2 lands untapped, and I could have gone with the Archdruid's Charm to take out Torpor. That would have been extra nice. At least they only have 1 black. They're not doing a whole lot with that. Yeah, we got to get Kiora. Hopefully draw land next turn. Cross the fingers. Or, well, we could play Carnage Tyrant if we draw land. That would be nice. But at least we do have removal for that orb. We'll possibly wait until the end of the opponent's turn, one of the ends, until we have the potential to explode and play something big right when it comes back around to us. We don't want to leave it open for the opponent to maybe put down another Torpor Orb. Yeah. Oh yeah. That is true. I was kind of thinking Torpor Orb was... Torpor Orb is Damping Sphere, but that's extra nice. Now I don't even have to untap. I do draw a card, and... Well, I don't draw a card. Never mind. We got a big thing down. We might use Archdruids to take out Sheoldred if They don't have Sheoldred's Edict. I hope. Could be painful. Hey, we still got a Castle Garenbrig. They will be able to take out both castles, and at least I will have replacement forests. Oh boy. Yeah, just keep doing it and doing it. Sheoldred 100% will trade Carnage Tyrant with her if it comes to that. Maybe. Oh, a Sunken Citadel to boot. Now that is very interesting. Do I just want to take Sheoldred out? We still get there. That's the tough one. I think we wait and see what they do. I think that... Oh, they don't trade. That is very interesting. Well, we'll untap Carnage Tyrant. Absolutely. Okay. Again, they can't -2. Okay. +1. Make me get rid of a Kiora I have. That's alright. Do I want Sheoldred gone or not? Or the Torpor? You know what? Let's go with Torpor. Let's get it out of the way. I like that. Yeah, after all that land destruction. Ooh. Deadly. Hopefully this is deadly. Drawing a card, we lose 2 life, and we got a Sunken. That is pretty good. We'll try to... Yeah, that's alright. Of course, Liliana still can't -2. I think we're okay. Hopefully. We're at 12, they're at 17. Oh, look, also, it's lovely stuff when they can't cast Invoke Despair. When Invoke Despair is a dead card. Oh, and look what I just drew. Technically Castle Garenbrig. Surprise. Now you better hope that I don't draw another big thing. Buddy. We won't attack. We don't need to at this point, I hope. No more Field of Ruin. Don't Demolition Field any of that funny business. I'm okay taking 2. Yeah. If it is Extinction Event, Preacher and Carnage Tyrant, 3? No. Just Carnage Tyrant would go. Creature. Big creature. Oh, Sheoldred. Okay, this is getting interesting. Well, it's not super interesting, but we'll search for Vaultborn Tyrant. We could search for Ghalta, but that does basically nothing. Or would I want Tyrranax Rex? Maybe. Let me think about this. It's going to be very interesting. Very hard to play things as well. Kiora's card draw could hurt me because of Sheoldred. I'm going to lose a lot. It's going to come down to the wire here. Oh boy. I'm hoping Vaultborn Tyrant could block Sheoldred or Preacher of the Schism, but hopefully Sheoldred. Get rid of her, we get a copy of Vaultborn, gain some life perhaps, and make it work. Oh boy. At the very least, Sheoldred is not attacking, I don't think. The question becomes, do I want to block with Vaultborn Tyrant? Oh good, okay. Yeah, nothing. Alright. Well, we'll attack with everything, and sometimes you don't get a lot of stuff. A whole lot of not big creatures. The only other creature in that mixture Yeah, that was... Guess I'll untap good old Vaultborn and mostly be dead. I will grab a land and maybe I'll draw something good next turn, and even with so many big lovely things, it just doesn't happen. Very intense though. At least a lot to think about. That's alright. Kiora didn't need it. Hopefully. They can't attack with both. Yeah, or they will. Just the Preacher. Oh. Really? Okay. Well, I'll attack him and I'll lose the Vaultborn, or, well, just Beckoner will block his. You might think I don't have too many big things, but, just a little wacky. There's nothing differently I could have done. It's just statistically improbable, but not ever going to happen. There's a chance of that happening. A low chance. That's what I'm getting at. I need more coffee. My goodness. You know what? I'll leave the deck list up for anybody that didn't catch it before. Gonna go make a cup and I'll be right back. Yeah. Many of you, if you're new especially, you might think, 20 lands, that's not enough for all these big creatures, and you have too many big creatures. Oh my, you got to have other small stuff, and then you run into an unfortunate scenario just like that. But just like that, I will be back. Okay, I'm back, yeah. But yeah, RNG, it always keeps things interesting, Scorpion, and hopefully I didn't miss much while I was away. Maybe a fly went past the camera or something, although the behind the scenes artificial background removal is pretty good. It wouldn't really pick up on a fly, I think. Pretty good determining what is myself and what isn't. You can sometimes see the backdrop there, but yeah, otherwise it's pretty good. I like it. I don't have to have a green screen or anything. The quality, I must admit, when I found out I could do this, oh, a game changer. Prototype. Pretty sure name sounds familiar. Pretty sure I faced him before. 2 lands and Marauding, worth a try. Okay, well, we could bring Roxanne, yeah. We could dust her off again. Certainly a single copy at least, never much of a problem. Oh, Roberts. Oh, I thought you were talking about Roxanne, the star person. Roberta. Wait, Roberts and Roberta both came by. Yeah, I know. But with Sylvan Scrying 100%, knowing I'm facing off against Rakdos, that's what I'm grabbing, a land. Okay, Roberta. Roberts was last night. Yeah. Well, Kiora, to safest thing, I might get possibly Regisaur Alpha next turn. Marauding Raptor, though, probably gonna die. Yeah, shucks. I missed Roberta. Man, that sucks. Just Roberta. Catch her next time. Oh, yeah. Okay. I was thinking it might be something related to Jurassic Park. I do forget all the names of those dinosaurs that... the Vein Ripper? Oh, just a Preacher of the Schism. That's not too bad. Of course, the land would have been a little bit better. That's alright. Maybe. Imagine Marauding Raptor is going to eat... Oh! Oh, look. Now you know why I don't play it. Of course, Marauding Raptor could have been Topiary Stomper, which would have drawn me a card off of Kiora, got me a basic land, and I certainly would have been in an infinitely better position. That's for sure. But it does just have to be Kiora. Even with 2 Cavern of Souls, it does mess me up once in a while, but that is why I like Kiora. If it's, however, unlikely, but when it does happen, I'm still able to do something for 2 playing Kiora if one of the first 3 lands is a Cavern, and I am held off of making the 3 green needed for Archdruid's Charm. Oh, blue. Absolutely blue. Oh, they really hate, my goodness. Gunning for Kiora. Ouch. Okay. I get it. How she goes. That is how it will go. We'll grab a Sunken, we'll play it, but at this point I imagine it's almost certainly over. If we had a Sunken out. If we could have made 3 green Archdruids, putting another Sunken on, and maybe playing Ghalta next turn, that would have been pretty good. Okay, we get the drill. Not happening. I still like Kiora. I do like Leyline of Sanctity, I must admit. Dodging all those Thought Seizes and the Vein Ripper. But I have beaten Rakdos and the Vein Ripper oftentimes without Leyline. Yeah, I think it might be time to dust off a sideboard. I need more coffee, not dust off a sideboard, dust off a sweeper for the sideboard. Yeah. I've swept the sweepers under the rug for far too long, perhaps. You know what? I want to do it again. No Leyline of Sanctity. Persevering, prevailing. I know roughly what sort of hand I'm looking to keep, knowing what I'm facing, but I could just basically guess that there's a pretty high chance it's going to be something black related, whether that is green and black, Insidious roots like it was when we started, or Rakdos, or mono black. It's just so it's so incredibly common, but then, yeah, sometimes you get flooded, sometimes you get perfect. It doesn't matter what Thoughtseize does. I'm looking at 8 mana. 8. I don't need Sylvans, I don't need Archdruid's Charms. I'm resilient to an explosive amount earlier. That is really what it's all about. Sylvan Scrying will grab another Castle Garenbrig, just in case they got the Field of Ruin, Demolition Field, and all that. OG Norn, +2/+2 to creatures you control, I think. Yeah, creatures you control and creatures your opponents control get -2/-2. That is a massive swing. It kills a lot of nuisance things. Even -1 would be alright, but -2/-2. Deadly. And we drew out a Shieldred's Edict, and we lost Ghalta. Okay. Rough. At least we can play Ghalta next turn. Hopefully a Vaultborn Tyrant. That'd be pretty nice. Regisaur Alpha. Oh, speaking of. Good. Deadly. Oh, man. Well, I don't think they're coming back from this. Well, hopefully they don't drop a Vein Ripper. They could right here. And that's okay. We still got the Vaultborn left. Pretty nice to have something that was even bigger than it. Okay, just play another. They're probably going to scoop, I bet. Draw 2 cards, gain 6 life. We're going to get something else big, and it is just going to continue to go downhill for the opponent. Double block, triple block, doesn't matter. If they have only destroy-based removal, if they've run out of exile-based stuff, the one Vaultborn that I lose, going to make a copy. Regisaur absolutely would have been... Oh, would have been a good game. However, yeah, it's got to be T-Rex. I was just seeing if I could play... Well, I actually could potentially play Carnage Tyrant if I draw a... Archdruid's Charm is actually better. Yeah. Now the question becomes, I think they're mostly dead. I hope. We'll find out. Vaultborn's making... They're not coming back from this. Jordan, how's it going? Hopefully all is well with you. Yes, I am happy. I made it to Mythic. Far too long, but things have definitely gotten to a very good place here. And the opponent, very, very dead. You joined at the right time. Okay, keep it the same. Like I said, I persevered and I prevailed without Sanctity, giving myself hexproof. I love it. I always knew I would get back to Mythic. I just have to grind as much as humanly possible, and I love to do that. Pretty much all my free time. I try to pour towards that. Being able to play on my phone absolutely is a game changer. But it would be a game loss, I imagine, if I kept this. A little bit too risky. That's worse. 2 lands to 1. Okay, that's better. We got to keep something at some point, absolutely. We'll send the most costliest stuff to the bottom. Now the question becomes, it has to be green. It's not really much of a question. If we get Kiora down, the Sunken that she untaps has to be green. We're not playing Marauding next turn, that's for sure. Top 1000, it's fine. And we got that all-important land. So everything might be okay. It was not the turn 3 Vein Ripper. Very good. Now the only question, well, you know what, Archdruids for another Sunken. Let's do it. Go big. Go home. Choose red. We're going to hope that I draw land that enters untapped, and we would be able to play Palani's Hatcher. But almost certainly we're going to go with Kiora. Just Kalatis is not bad. They don't have too many more cards in hand. This is going a little bit downhill. We will draw pretty much all the creatures towards Kiora, so we buy a turn. That is good. They're going to send Kalatis, the Goblin, Mutavault, high with the Eye Tyrant actually. Yeah, oh, everybody's going towards it. Hey, I paid 3 to buy myself a turn, and that might be all it takes. Okay. Guess I'll just keep buying myself a turn. Hopefully, Vaultborn Tyrant. Vaultborn really would be, I think, a game changer. It is just a little unfortunate that Kiora is not sticking around. And we keep sending them. Vaultborn, you can do it. I just keep staying at 18. I'm okay. Oh, no. Phew.
Dang!
Stabilize. Hopefully they don't have blot out. Reflection, make another copy, -6. And it's exiled. Also very painful. Just a lot of good old aggression from this particular opponent. Tends to do the trick. That will do it. Nuts. But we'll get them. We'll get them next time. I must say, it is nice to play more of the same people. It gives a different feel. You kind of get to know your opponent, although nothing I face is super surprising at this point. It is still nice to be surprised, but to surprise the other person. Maybe they faced me once before and then they're excited to do it again, perhaps because they do have strong chances against me, or they just love to see what something can do. Bob Clampett. I'm sure I faced that person. I swear. Oh, that's not going to do it. No way. 1 land, and it's only a forest. I don't even have a source of red for Marauding. So like I said, the early red needed on turn 2 sometimes. Oh, well, that's a lot better. I got my source of red and 2 sources of green. That is going to be mean. However, it would be mean if I kept Palani's Hatcher, because again, Marauding would kill him. Something black? Oh, it's not something black. Oh my. They will be shouting, grant me revenge. Absolutely. We'll draw out a counter spell, so this is nice. Having a bunch of early stuff, we get that. Yeah. We get the counter spell burnt, which should hopefully mean that Archdruid's Charm is going to resolve. They have 1 less lofty denial, and I like that. I like it a lot, but they have a ton of mana up. Hopefully it's not a spell queller. I think this is spirits. No more lies. Wow. Now they have Hopefully no more counters. Okay. Okay. Now the opponent is almost dead. Archdruid's Charm, as long as they don't have a Spell Pierce, Okay, good. You know what, this deck has a lot of counter spells, but now it's going to be a lot of dead. I'm going to stick Vaultborn. It was tempting to not grab Sunken. I would have been able to make 8, but they could have potentially countered Ghalta. They would have potentially countered Vaultborn. Now they have almost no chance. Yeah, don't double cast Marauding Raptor. Oh, surprise. What you gonna do? You lose. You're not coming back from this. You're not. I love it when I win. No chance. Look at my hand. Ooh. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, I'll just keep playing stuff they can't deal with. Scoop. Dead.
You have no power here.
Get him a body bag! Yeah!
Okay. But yeah, that is a good point, Scorpion. Absolutely. You guys might not think it's good to have 2, but as we saw against that Gruul Slickshot opponent, they left themselves completely open. I had 2 Maraudings. They were at 12. I used 1 Marauding to block because I didn't want both of them to take out Regisaur. Sadly, I forgot the very key thing. I could have made both Maraudings 6 power each, lining up exactly with that Gruul Aggro opponent's 12 life. 4 damage to Regisaur and the Dinosaur. They die, but the opponent dies. They would have died with exactly lethal. Ooh. Yeah, I know. And sometimes if the card is extended art like this, it is hard to tell a little bit if they could counter or not. It doesn't have that glowing, rippling border. Yeah. Now the only question, Kiora, we'll get rid of Kiora. I kind of like a little bit of interaction with Savage Stomp. We'll bring in 1+ Inscription of Abundance. I would rather the instant speed potential just because I think there's going to be instances where I want to respond to stuff. Land destruction could be a very real possibility. I don't think it's going to be super common with this particular opponent. Now, is this something I want to keep? Sunken and Stomping. Either I draw into Castle Garenbrig, or I draw Sylvan Scrying, which would grab Castle. I'm going to give it a go. But if Sunken Citadel was a forest, nah. If Sunken was Castle Garenbrig, I'd keep it. But also because I don't have a turn 1 play. Sunken Citadel usually always feels perfectly fine. Nice for that to be the first land. Absolutely. Shutting down abilities of lands. Blood Sun. I think it is. Tune red, lands lose all abilities except mana abilities. Hopefully it's not Geistlight Snare or something. Basically guaranteed to... Okay. 1 less counterspell again. Might come in hand. They're tapped out. Good. I could go with that Sylvan Scrying. Or Cavern of Souls, also quite nice. Of course, I could have waited for Marauding, but hey, we got 1 counterspell gone. The opponent feels safe. Maybe they'll spend their mana on other stuff, leave themselves tapped out, and we have a chance to resolve something sometime. We could draw Castle Garenbrig next turn, or the turn after that, start to give ourselves a little bit of a chance here. Or Sylvan Scrying, that grabs a castle. Or another Ghalta, which is not Sylvan Scrying or castle. Oh, there's that spell queller. Rough stuff, absolutely. Although most of my stuff is big, a lot of stuff. When it enters, exile target spell with mana value 4 or less. When a lot of your spells are above that, spell queller may not be exiling a whole lot of anything. I don't really like Inscription of Abundance. I'd just rather go with Kiora. We'll go with that. Usually the auto tapper is actually pretty good on Arena, at least I've found with Cavern of Souls. If Castle Garenbrig can make its mana without using Cavern, it's going to leave that behind, and it's automatically going to use Cavern for my dinosaur creature just to make sure it can't be countered. It is quite good, and that hand is quite amazing. Basically, I would say perfect. 2 Caverns, keep. 100%. No question about it. No. And Sylvan and Archdruids. Man, you can't beat it. You know what? We're going to go with Sylvan Scrying. I don't think they have a counter spell for 1. Good. Good. Of course, Sylvan Scrying can be countered, but Marauding cannot. So take the opportunity while the opponent only had 1 land and just get the castle. Prepare for death and destruction from the opponent. Boom. Surprise. Oh, do you have Lofty Denial, Geistlight Snare? Any number of things. Carnage Tyrant next turn would be pretty devastating for the opponent. Yeah, not quite. Actually, let me think. Yeah, I want to go Forest. We'll try for Marauding, see what happens, see if they respond. They cast some spells, rattle chains, something like that. But I get a good bit of aggression with the Marauding. That's temporarily a 4/3. That could draw something from the opponent. Mostly I just want to maintain the 3 green for Archdruid's Charm. Get him. Containment Priest is certainly something. It doesn't do a whole lot. I think we're safe to search for what we need to search for. Ghalta. Really, it would have been better just to go Vaultborn Containment Priest, turning it off, but I imagine Containment Priest probably is going to want to block the big stuff when I attack. I'm pretty sure it's going to go away next turn. I'm almost certain it's going to go away. Those Marauding Raptors are going to get decently sized. Oh, that's the alternate art there for Containment Priest is some of my favorite. Absolutely. But losing the Vaultborn Tyrant is pretty good. Tishana's Tidebinder also quite nice. Play this Stomping Ground. They have to be at least a little bit worried for the aggression. They're down to 8. And I'm still at 17. And I have a 6/6. We're not done for yet. Good. Very good. And we'll just play T-Rex and probably still kill him.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
All right. Whew. Lovely to take down a sort of spirits, control-y variation. Oh, Marauding Raptor was a pretty good all-star there. It would have been something else. It could have been a legendary permanent, another planeswalker, the workshop, war chief, but it definitely put in the work in that instance. And I imagine it would continue to do. Whether I keep it in forever, we'll see. We got room to tweak things a little bit, make the painful matchups a little bit better, and so I think I'll leave it there for tonight. Almost 2 hours. Lovely that I'm getting back to that. Eventually 3. I would love to go for 4 hours, maybe starting right at 8. Or do 2 hours in the morning when I do this full time, or more than I usually do. Raptor does need trample, absolutely, and that could Garruk's Uprising would be a very interesting option. I'll pull it up for anybody that isn't familiar with that. Of course, it is a little bit redundant. That's not F, G. Garruk. All right, there we go. I like to pronounce it Garruk. I'm sure a lot of people pronounce it Garruk or Garruk. It's always been Garruk to me. But yeah, Garruk's Uprising, enchantments, tuna green, competing for the slot with Archdruid's Charm, but it's not too bad. When it enters the battlefield, if I control a creature with power 4 or greater, I draw a card. That is very good. Kind of like Up the Beanstalk a little bit. Palani and yeah, 100% they would get huge. It's basically like the Vaultborn Tyrant enchantment, which is pretty interesting to think about. Vaultborn Tyrant also triggers off of creatures that have power 4 or greater. Garruk's triggering off of that. If I did choose to bring this in, I would definitely lean into the power 4 or greater, whether Garruk's replaces Kiora, and then Marauding would probably switch out for Topiary Stomper, Dinosaur for 1 and 2 green, 4 power. When it enters, we search for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield, but increasing the number of hits. Garruk. I think the ook. Garruk. Yeah, kind of sounds like a animal grunting. Yeah, I like that. Of course, Garruk probably doesn't say a whole lot. He probably grunts. Grunty Garruk, maybe. Yeah, it is just so... When it's good, it's good. And again, it could be something else that doesn't get me there a little bit sooner. Something that is just a creature. Doesn't get me a land. Doesn't provide cost reduction. Absolutely. Yeah. Of course, it is always nice. It is so incredibly tempting when I have so many key things. The potential for Kiora to untap Sunken Citadel to get there in a lot more scenarios, but of course Kiora is a legendary planeswalker, can only have one. Would I like Garruk more? Getting Raptor big plus, it is GG. It really could be. Marauding Raptor, I mean, yeah, I don't care. Palani's Hatcher, that'd be 6 damage from 1 Palani's. Raptor taking out both eggs and picking Palani plus a Regisaur could be 10. Yeah, Marauding Raptor could be sitting at 12 power, and with Garruk's it would have trample. The Planeswalker. I've never really used Garruk Unleashed much. It didn't really seem the best. It hasn't spoken to me. I think if I did choose another green Planeswalker, it would probably be one of the Vivians. Vivian Arcbow Ranger, but the +1, +3/+3 in trample is pretty decent. Just getting trample on Marauding or Palani's Hatcher, which is already pretty big, making this an 8/6 trample. Very nice. Or I give one of the eggs +3/+3 in trample. It doesn't have Defender, as you guys have seen. I've attacked with the 0/1 eggs to send a message to the opponent when it's lethal. But I make one egg big, and then I crack the other one. I'm attacking with a 3/4 trampling dinosaur egg. How hilarious would that be? Oh my goodness. +1, +1 is so brutal. Vivian, Well, think about it. And Kiora, not Kiora. Something that's legendary, something that's not. A couple different legendary planeswalkers, permanents that all kind of help me achieve this plan a little bit better. Again, it's basically solved, and there is a lot of room for expression, whatever you like. You like Kiora, keep her. You like Garruk's Uprising instead of Kiora, that would also do good stuff. Nah, I think I would probably keep it ranked. No fear, no limits. Well, I try to give no excuses, usually. And always a good time. Win or lose, I'm going to unleash. That is a tongue twister. Unleash devastation on opponents as much as possible. Yeah. We'll think about it unranked for some fun decks. But of course, Mythic, you can't drop out of it, which is very nice. So it does open up the potential of just having a fun night. Oh, with the 3/4 egg. Oh, okay. Or I just add other stuff that could power up the egg, make it extra threatening. You gotta watch out. You might be salivating at this giant thing rolling towards you. You're ready to have breakfast or brunch or breakfast for supper. But that's not the case because you're going to get a stubbed toe, a broken foot. Or it's just going to completely crush you. You thought you were going to crack the egg, but the egg is going to crack you. Wide open, and you're going to lose all your life total. Lethal with an egg would be pretty funny. Groot plus the egg. Voltron egg. Oh boy. I think so. Eggtron. Maybe Eggtron. Oh. And this deck also is kind of like Tron for people that know that. Assembling all the Urza lands, one of each, the mine, the tower, and the plant. If you have all three, you're able to tap the mine and the plant for 2 colorless and the tower for 3. A total of 7 colorless with 3 lands. That's the Tron deck name, but this could be Eggtron. Egg on the face. A cracking good time. This deck is serious. No yoke. It's excellent. Excellent potential. And we're going to be scrambling some opponent's brains. Absolutely. Classification. I think it's legal. I should look at classification. Classification is legal. It was rare from Ikoria, Lair of Behemoth. Ooh. Well, that would be pretty good. Maybe. Interesting. The 2020 egg. Marauding big. I'm going to have to think about it. It would be pretty cool just to be getting wins with this. Opponents would be raging. Absolutely, if that was the case. Yeah, when it enters, tap enchanted creature, it gets +20/+20, but of course, Kiora would untap that, ready to attack the same turn that I play it. Yeah, I'll keep it in the back books, at the very least. Make a list of all the fun stuff that you guys suggest that I should try out. It is a pretty long list. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's going to be so funny. It's always a good time, whether it's more on the fun side. Well, it's always on the fun side, but the less serious side, I guess you could say. Okay. We'll leave it there for tonight. Scorpion, anybody else still watching? Hopefully you have a good time. Palani does give the egg haste. Oh, I know. I love that. I love it so much. There's so much potential to think about. So many little things. Oh, this is sacrificed at that point. Alright. I'm going to start the countdown. I'm going to get the explosion perfectly again. I think I've got that down pat. Yes. See you later. Have a good night. And peace. Hopefully your guys' weekend continues to be good. Yeah. Oh, okay. It's going to be good. I'm going to get it. So, zero boom. Let's go.